Welcome to UARC. This particular video is completely about color theory and its details. It also includes psychology behind color theory and various colors and its color contrast and various other terms that might appear in your exams has been listed here. Since this video is so long, it may be divided into 2 or 3 parts, but all these are continuous parts. Watch it completely. So let's get into the video right now. Let's get into the basics of colors. The lowest visible frequency is called red and the highest is on the other end violet. Okay. The white light is evenly distribution of all visible frequencies. If all visible frequencies are evenly distributed, we get white light. Black is absence of light. A white surface reflects light frequencies equally, whereas black surface reflects no light. Colored surface reflects some frequencies and absorb others. Let's understand key terminologies and theories in colors. Colors has 4 distinct properties. So first one is hue. Hue means name of the color. So we could see hue in this particular circle. So in the main diagram we could see this circle acting as hue, which is all colors. Okay. So next is value. Value means lightness or darkness of hues. That is this particular vertical line. So here we could see a line having black at the bottom of value 0 and white on top, pure white on top having value of 10. So when we mix this particular hue with this value, we get value, lightness or darkness of hue. Let's see all these things in detail later. Saturation or chroma means purity of hue, brightness or dullness. So we could see this particular line called chroma. Same here. Okay. Temperature means warmth or coolness of hue. So this particular region we can feel these colors are really warm and this region really cold. So all these are 4 important terminologies of colors: hue, value, saturation or chroma, and temperature. Let's move to the next slide. Let's see hue in detail. As we already know, hue is name of the color. The average person can distinguish about 150 colors or hues in his lifetime. Though he can distinguish or see these 150 hues, but we can only describe a hue with 6 words. What are those? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. So with these 6 terms only we could describe those hues. A hue without white, black or gray is called as pure hue, which means these colors white, black or gray doesn't exist in color wheel. So all the colors which exist in color wheel is called as hue. So you guys understood this concept, right? So all the colors are called hue here. Okay. So hues are obtained by mixing 2 primaries or 2 adjacent colors or 2 complementary colors. Okay. In equal or unequal proportions, we can mix and get different hues. So we have 4 terminologies in use. One is chromatic. Chromatic means a color which has a hue in it. Achromatic means without hue. What are the colors without hue? Pure white, black, grey possess no hue in it, as we saw already. Polychromatic. Chromatic means color. Poly means many. So it is having many hues. Okay. Monochromatic. Again, chromatic means hue. Having hue. Mono means single. So having only one hue is called monochromatic. So we saw 4 terms here. Chromatic having hues. Achromatic without hues. Pure white, black and grey. Polychromatic means having many hues. Monochromatic only one hue. Done? Let's understand value in detail. It is often called as lightness, intensity, or brightness. Values concerned with light or dark properties of color. All the color exhibit these properties. Okay. So what is hue? What is pure hue is without adding white, black, or gray is called pure hue. So when hue is at its natural value means it look purest. Okay. When hue is not added with these terms, it has a natural value. So while adding white paint, what happens is the pigment becomes lighter and it holds higher value. While adding the black paint, the pigment becomes darker. White is the possible value while black is the possible highest values for white, while black is the lowest. So gray being midpoint between black and white, it is a medium value color. Okay. So here we have given the value. So here it starts with 0 and here it is 10. So when you mix any hue with this particular color, that is black to white, we get different values. Our third descriptive quality of color is saturation or chroma. It defines the purity of hue or contrast between dull and vivid. Okay, it refers to strength of the color. Strength of the color is referred by this particular saturation. As we already saw, a pure hue has natural value. In values we saw same as here, a pure color is at normal saturation. Okay, so if we have to desaturate it, we have to add white, gray, or black to make it duller version of itself. Okay, so adding black, what we saw in value, we decrease the value because it becomes 0 when we are adding black, right? Same way here, if you are adding black, you decrease saturation, or even if you add gray, you decrease the saturation. If you add white, what we saw in value was, if we add white, then the value of that particular color goes up. It was for white 10, right, in value. So but here what happens is, if you add white to any hue, you decrease the saturation. So here saturation will be on normal scale if it is pure color. If you add anything, then you are desaturating the color. Okay, let's understand these particular terms in detail. Okay, so here we can see value. As we already saw, value for black, it is 0. So it starts going up till white when it becomes 10. Okay, so this is value. This vertical scale is called the value. So then we are introducing value and hue. Hue means color. Okay, so this is color. So it is introduced with value. Okay, so now we are introducing value and chroma for one particular color, which is red. Okay, so when red is at this particular point, it reaches the natural saturation. So we are adding different colors to desaturate it. These are desaturation values. So it is also called as chroma. So this is all about this value, hue and chroma. Hope you got these concepts very clear. Let's move on to the next topic called temperature. Temperature of the color is its relative warmth or coolness. Cool and warm are two opposing qualities of hue. Okay. Cool colors contain blue or green, blues, greens, violets, and the steps between them. Okay. Blue, green, violet, and the steps between these colors. Warm colors are red, orange, yellow, and the steps between these colors are called warm colors. Okay, the color temperature affects us psychologically as well as perceptually. They help us determine how objects appear positioned in the space. Warm colors said to be active colors and visually advancing colors. They appear closer to the observer. Okay. Cool color tend to be passive color and visually receding colors. They appear far from the observer. So what emotions or thought do you will get when it is warm colors or cool colors? For warm colors, it is like summer days, sunset, fire, heat that comes to our mind because we remember these colors, right? Red, orange, and yellow. All these colors remind all these sets of emotions. So, what about the cool colors? They are blue, green, and violet, right? So they usually represent ice, nature, water, clear sky, like that. All these are emotion linked with the warm and cool colors. So we also saw two other points. Warm colors are active and visually advancing, whereas cool colors are passive and visually receding. So remember these points. Okay, moving on to the next slide. A little more understanding on colors and emotion is needed. A room with mostly warm colors will feel more cozy, inviting, and comfortable. It also makes the room feel smaller than really it is. Okay, even in this figure, we could see that the images for cool colors is little bigger than the warm color, and warm color still look smaller than really it is because the both images are similar of same size, but still the emotion connected with the warm colors makes it smaller than really it is. So let's see what is this characteristics of room cool colors. So a room designed with cool colors feel bigger, fresher, and even cleaner. That is why most of the hospitals are painted with cool greens and blues to transmit the sense of cleanliness and the control. So now I think we have come up with the emotions and what are cool colors and warm colors, what are it's called, so on. So let's move into the next topic. So here the another important terms in colors. What are they? Are tint, shades, and tone. So what is tint? Tint is something when we add white to the pure hue. Pure hue means pure color. Okay. Here they have given orange. So when orange is added with white, we get tint here. So what is shade? This is pure hue here. When we add black to the hue, we get the shade. What is tone is? Again, it is pure hue. We are adding gray to the pure hue. We get tone. Okay. These are about tint, shades, and tone. Remember, tint means white, shade means black, tone means gray. Done. Next. We have three kind of color systems. The color can be mixed according to these three different systems. First is subtractive color system. The process of mixing pigments or colors can be done by this color system. Additive color system is process of mixing the colored lights. Okay, we have to remember subtractive is for pigment and additive color is for light. Okay, partitive color system based on viewers reaction to the color when they seen in relation to the other color. So we have to understand the viewer reaction in relation to the other color is done, and after that this color system was introduced. So these are three color systems: subtractive, additive, and partitive. So remember this color system as well. So moving on to the next slide. So what is subtractive colors? We already know what is subtractive colors. It is dealing with pigments. Okay. So if you wanted to mix colors using paint or through printing processes, then we use this method called subtractive color method. Okay. So this subtractive color method means one begins with white and ends with black. So we begin with white color and ends with the black color. As one adds color, as we add color to the hue, the result get darker and tends to black. Okay. So this particular color system has color coding of CMYK. What is CMYK stands for is cyan, magenta, yellow and kiki is black. Okay. So the CMY color system is used for printing because it is dealing with pigments. Just go through this color schemes and its mixing procedures for your understanding. Let's see what is additive color. We already know additive color is something which is dealing with lights in it. So if we are working on computer, laptops or mobile phones, the colors you see on the screen are created with light. So this particular colors are created using additive color methods. Okay. Additive color method begins with black and ends with white. It is just opposite to the subtractive color system that we saw already. So when we keep adding colors, what happens, the resultant color will be lighter and tend to white. Okay, so here we have the color scheme of RGB, which stands for red, green and blue. So this RGB is primarily dealing with colors that is created with lights. Okay, so what is difference between subtractive and additive? Subtractive is completely for pigments. It is for paint printing processes, whereas light related color mixing that happens, digital color mixing we can say, that happens with additive color system. So now let's talk about color wheel. The color wheel is a visual representation of color theory. Okay, there are different types of color wheel exist. It is invented by different people. First is pigment wheel, second is process wheel, third is Munsell wheel. So we are going to see about these three color wheels in detail. So, talking about pigment wheel works with subtractive color system. So, which is dealing with paints and pigments. Okay, gives information about color interaction when they actually mixed. So, what it will give? It is an information about what actually it is mixed. Okay, so remember two keywords here. Pigment wheel means subtractive color system used, and it is color reaction when they actually mixed. Okay, here we can see the primary colors as yellow, blue and red. Okay, so our next color wheel is process wheel. Process wheel has yellow, magenta and cyan as three bases primary that results in purer hue when they mix as contrast to pigment wheel. This system is used in printing and photography as well. So it is another type of wheel where it uses yellow, cyan and magenta as the primaries of the three bases. So this also used in printing and photography processes. So moving on to the next field, let's see what is Munsell color wheel. So Munsell developed a partitive color system based on five primary hues. What are they? Yellow, red, green, blue and purple. Yellow, red, green, blue and purple. His color system was based on after image perception that are derived from hues that we see in nature. So about after image perception, let's deal with that in later video. So now let's see about this partitive color system. We already discussed it earlier, so I'm just recalling it. Partitive is something that people react to the color in relation to the other colors around it, other colors on its surrounding. That is called this partitive color system. It is developed by a person called Munsell. So this particular color wheel is called Munsell color wheel, named after his name. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Let's discuss basic color wheel or color circle in detail. It is a representation of colors arranged to their chromatic relationship. Okay, primary hues are equidistant from one another, then create a bridge between these primaries using secondary and tertiary colors. Okay, So what happens here is we keep primary colors in equidistant, and the bridge between these primary colors are bridged using secondary or tertiary colors in between them. The first circular color diagram was designed by Sir Isaac Newton. So it is very peculiar to remember this. First circular diagram was designed by Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, there are number of color combination that are considered especially pleasing. Okay, in this color wheel, they consider the color combination especially for pleasing. So these are called as color harmonies or color chords. So they consist of two or more colors with fixed relation within the color wheel. So already told you fixed relation is chromatic relationship between colors. So this color combination of two or more colors in chromatic relation with each other is called color harmonies. Okay, you understood three terms here. What is color wheel? What is chromatic relationship? Who invented or designed first circular color diagram? And what are color harmonies or color chords? Done. Moving on to the next. So let's talk about primary colors. Okay, primary colors which cannot be created by mixing any two colors. So it is a source color or very important color in color wheel. In fact, they form basis of all other colors. Okay. So the classic color wheel has three primary colors. Those are red, yellow and blue. So remember this, a classic primary wheel has yellow, blue and red as primary colors, and these are equidistant from each other. Secondary colors are created by mixing two primary colors. In the color wheel, these are visualized in between the primary colors. So if you mix two primary colors, what we get is secondary color. So see, we are mixing red and blue, we get violet. Yellow and blue, we get green, and yellow and red we get orange. Even these particular colors are equidistant from each other, so they form an equilateral triangle. So these are about secondary colors. Tertiary colors are six colors. Remember, we have six tertiary colors, three primary, three secondary. Okay, are created by mix of one primary color and one secondary color. How the tertiary color is achieved? One primary color and one secondary color. These apply to the color which is next to each other. So for example, if you see, yellow is primary, green is secondary. If those are closer to each other, so in between them comes a tertiary color, yellow green. So if two colors which are one primary and secondary are next to each other in the color wheel, mix to create our tertiary colors. This is what they are meaning. So totally we have six tertiary colors. It is obtained by mixing one primary and one secondary color. Hope you got it. So what are complementary colors? Now we are dealing with this color combination, as we already see. Color harmonies or color chords. It is color combinations. So till now we have seen one single colors. Now we are entering into the combination of colors. Complementary colors are directly opposite to each other in the color wheel and appears opposite in character. Opposite in the character means usually one is warm color and another one is cool color. So not only they are opposite to each other in position in color wheel, but also they exhibit opposite color in character, which is one warm color and one cool color. They are also called as direct complementaries. The colors that are directly opposite to each other on the color wheel, they are also called as direct complementaries. So three key points here. They are direct complementaries, which means directly opposite to each other in position in color wheel, and they exhibit opposite character. Those are one warm color and one cool color. So let's see one example here. We can see this yellow and violet. They are directly opposite to each other in the color wheel, and we can see this yellow is warm color and violet is cool color, right? So if we see other combination also, orange is warm, blue is cool, red is warm, green is cool. So we have two different colors. So how many combinations of complementary colors we have? Yes, we have many. Okay, few examples are listed here. Just check it. So examples for complementary colors are given here. So in this particular poster, we can see two complementary colors, that is blue and red is seen. So it creates the exact one part is creating, giving us a warm sensation or warmth feeling, whereas this part is coolness of hue. So we can see a warm color and a cool color happening here. Okay. So moving on to the next slide. Let's talk about split complementary colors. Split complementary color are with three color schemes. They are very similar to complementary colors, but difference is these color combinations are not directly or perfectly opposite to each other. So as we see here, yellow is opposite to purple here, violet here, right? It is direct complementary. So when it is coming to split complementary, a color, let's consider yellow. Okay, and the two colors adjacent to the direct complement. What is direct complement is violet. So what is adjacent to direct complement is these two colors. Okay, so this becomes our split complementary color combination. Hope you understood what is split complementary color combination, right? Moving on to the next combinations. So I have given few examples of split complementary color combinations. Just go through this. This will help you in exams as well. So examples of split complementary colors, as this poster suggests as it is giving three colors, right? So these three color combinations, this three color combination is our split complementary combinations. Analogous colors are the colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel. So we also consider them as friends because they exhibit same character. So if an analogous color combination exhibit a warm color effect or a cool color effect. Okay. See, this analogous color comes as one primary color and two tertiary color on either side, which means one primary color and two tertiary colors on either side. So this is all about analogous color combinations. We also have extended analogous colors where instead of three colors, four or five colors may get combined. So they are called extended analogous colors. Let's see an example for analogous color. In this particular poster, we could see the color combination. See, we can see an extended analogous color combination here in this particular poster. Let's talk about triadic color scheme. It consists of three colors. Okay, again it is a three color schema having equal distance from each other in the color wheel. So the connection line to this color will end up with an equilateral triangle. As we see in this diagram, this equilateral triangle joining gives us the primary color combination, whereas this dotted line combination of triadic colors gives us the secondary color combination. So primary as well as secondary color combination comes under triadic colors. So triadic color scheme has either two warm colors and one cool colors, or two cool colors and one warm color. Okay, this is the combination that they have. And triadic colors of secondary colors, okay, triad of secondary colors, that is the dotted equilateral triangle here, okay, will look more neutral. Okay, the triad of primary color will create a vibrant and lively color scheme. So this color combination, this color combination gives us a vibrant and lively color scheme. Okay. Let's see an example for triadic color scheme. Let's see the poster of Aladdin. It is completely a triadic color scheme and mostly consists of secondary color scheme. Okay, so we have secondary color combination of triad here. So these are few examples of triadic colors. You can see this and understand. So let's see the difference between triadic and tetradic colors. Okay, triadic, as I already told you, it is an equilateral triangle formed combination, whereas tetradic has four colors. Okay, so it forms a rectangle. Okay, so these are the color combination of triadic and these are the color combination of tetradic. So triadic has three color schema, whereas tetradic has four. Done. So let's see in detail about tetradic colors. Tetradic colors are also known as double complementary colors because of its combination. I'll tell you how. Tetradic color schemes made up of two pairs of complementary colors. Okay, it is made up of two pairs of complementary colors. For example, can you see here? This is one pair of complementary colors which are direct opposite, and this is another pair of complementary colors which are directly opposite. So red and green are directly opposite, direct complementary. Blue and orange are direct complementary. When these two complementary colors come together, then it is called tetradic or double complementary colors. Understood? Let's see what is square colors. Okay, as the name suggests, when we combine this square colors, we get a square in the color wheel. Okay, so square colors uses four colors and are equal distance from each other in the color wheel, forming a square when it is connected. These are square colors. So do you remember what is equidistant color when it comes to three color scheme? Triadic colors. Okay, when it comes to four color schemes, when it is equidistant, then it is called square colors. So here I have given an example for square colors. It is inside out poster where we can see all the square colors here. Let's talk about few color glossaries, because these terms such as color psychology, optical illusion, color illusion might appear in your exams. So these terms definitely helps you. So let's get into the topic. Let's discuss few color terminologies. First is chromatic colors. Chromatic colors are colors other than white, gray and black. As we already know, chromatic color means having hue. Why they doesn't include white, gray and black? Because they doesn't have hue in it. Okay, so achromatic colors have no hue. So these colors that are white, gray, black comes under achromatic colors. Chromatic means having hue. So achromatic means no hue. What are no hue colors? Black, white and gray. Okay, so what is monochromatic? Chromatic means hue, mono means single. So some detail about single color, which means many values of single color. What is value? We already saw that. Value means adding white, black to white to the hue. So many values of single color is called monochromatic, right? So what is neutral colors? The colors obtained by mixing complementaries. The mixture of chromatic and achromatic colors will partially neutralize the resultant color, which means any hue when it is mixed with white, gray or black, it gives or it neutralizes the resultant colors. So these are neutral colors. So what is chromatic? It is having hue. Achromatic no hue, and monochromatic single hue, and neutral colors are obtained by mixing complementaries. Okay, let's see what is chromatic colors in detail. Chromatic is having color or multiple hues relating to or produced by a color. Chroma is purity or intensity of color. It refers to brightness or dullness of any color. So as we see here, achromatic means no color, no hue here. Black to white. Okay. Monochromatic means one single color at different value. It is high value, it is medium value. So we have seen one single color at different values. What is chromatic is having many colors or single color, it depends. Okay, so it has multiple hues which are related or produced by colors, or so they are related to each other in any way, or chromatic relationship they have. Okay, chromatic colors, let's see, between white and black lies all degrees of neutral gray, so they are called achromatic. So here we can see it is all achromatic colors, so perceived as no hue. So white, gray or black is mostly used. So these are having no hues here. So these are few examples of achromatic colors here. So we can see only gray, white and black even here. Let's see what is monochromatic colors. Mono means single hue or color only. When white is mixed with the color, it becomes lighten or tint. When black is mixed, it becomes darken or create shades of the color. So monochromatic color is made up of various shades and tint of the same hue. Using a balance of tint and shade just with one color can give you an interesting composition of light and dark areas. So in this diagram we could see that the single color with different values here is used. So this is perfect picture example for monochromatic color. So another poster example of monochromatic color lies here. So we could see the different tint and shades of single hue. So other monochromatic combinations are given here. Let's talk about color and contrast. The degree of dissimilarity of measured quantities such as luminance of two areas. Every visual presentation involves figure ground relationship. What is figure ground relationship? It is also called as play of foreground and background. Okay. This relationship between object or figure and its surrounding field is called ground, will evidence in level of contrast. So what happens here is an object or figure in the front is called as figure or foreground, and its surrounding field is called as ground. So it is figure ground. So this particular written word color is figure and the background is ground. So this relationship is called as figure ground relationship. Okay, the use of significant contrast between the text and the background provide higher degree of text readability. So if you have good contrast between the background and the color color of the text, then it is easily readable. So some combinations are difficult to read due to the low level of contrast between figure and ground. So see, let's see one example here. Yellow text on the white background is creating a low level of contrast where it is very difficult to read. Okay. So let's talk about visual illusions. Notice illusion of highlighted edges raised in the text. So if you see this red color font on green, we can see that a vibrating boundaries is created on the edge of the font. Actually no effect is given, only it is play of two different colors. This may occur when opposing colors are brought together. So this vibrating boundaries or vibrating effect is created when opposing colors are brought together. So this is a kind of visual illusion. We are slowly getting into the illusion part. Let's see what is optical illusion. We can really see when two big contrast colors are placed together, our eyes are jumping from one color to another color trying to get the whole picture. So this creates an illusion of movement. So if you see this particular picture, we have two different big contrast color at one particular diagram. So our eyes are jumping to catch one color from another color to make it as a whole picture. That is where this illusion is created. So this illusion is called optical illusion. Let's see complementary colors and its contrast. As we already know that the color which are positioned opposite to one another are complementary colors. When fully saturated complements are brought together, interesting effects are noticeable. This may be positive or negative. It is positive when you want this desirable illusion into picture, but it will be a problem if you're creating a visuals that are to be read. So there it will create a problem. Okay, so if it is some reading visuals, then definitely avoid this color combinations, and if you want to create some illusion kind of effect, then go for this color combination. So when we use simultaneously high chroma, spectrally extreme colors, you can see that high contrast happens. Okay, for example, red green, blue yellow, green blue and red blue can create vibrations, illusion of shadows and after images. So all these are created when simultaneously high chroma or spectrally extreme colors are used. Hope I'm hurting your eyes, but it is an example where two contrast colors come together: red versus blue, blue versus red, green versus blue. The perceived difference in depth that result in slow reading considerably. So the previous slide we can read, but the speed got reduced. This is created due to chromostereopsis. Okay, what is that is, it is simultaneous contrast of some color combination can create an illusion when positioned together. This chromostereopsis is also known as simultaneous contrast. This may happen when two opposing colors are placed in close proximity to each other. So what happens is, when two opposing colors, means maybe complementary colors or two colors with high contrast, are placed together, we get the simultaneous contrast or chromostereopsis. Text may appear to vibrate or create an illusion of shadow. It also causes eye strain or fatigue if viewers are viewing that particular document with similar properties for extended time period. Okay, so this is all about simultaneous contrast or chromostereopsis. Simultaneous contrast or chromostereopsis means the most intense when two colors are complementary. So this contrast exists when two colors are really complementary. So let's see an example here. Darker surrounding colors, the central square appears lighter. If you see this one, we have darker surrounding color, right? So this particular color inside seems to be lighter. Okay, whereas when we have the lighter surrounding colors, the central square appears darker. This particular effect is called chromostereopsis or simultaneous contrast. What is color blind deficiency? It is decreased ability to see color or difference in color. One thing is, you cannot see that particular color, or you cannot feel the difference between colors. That is called color blind deficiency. The design of visual documents, signages without overall contrast level between the figure and ground may be problematic for people with sight deficiency. For example, if you're doing some signages and if you're not giving some importance to the contrast or figure ground relation, then there will be some problematic issues for this particular people. So the individual with a normal color vision can see 5 revealed in the dotted pattern. So in this particular pattern, if you can see 5, then you are having normal vision. A individual with red bar green, okay, this is most common color blindness. They say people cannot see red or green. Okay, so this particular people can see 2 in this particular dotted image. This is how they identify the color deficiency. Another important term in colors are tethering. It is a process by which we create an illusion of color that is not present actually. So, a creation of illusion for the color which is not present. This process can be achieved by positioning pixels of two colors to create an illusion that third color is present. So, I'll explain you with this particular example. Okay. So only black and white are in the color palette of this particular figure, because there are only black and white color is used in this particular figure. By combining this black and white pixel in complex pattern, I already told you it can be achieved by juxtaposing pixels of two colors in some pattern. So here they have created complex pattern to create an illusion of gray color or gray values. So we can see a gray value here, but it is not really existing. It is our illusion. There is only two colors here. The third color is created by this particular dithering illusion. We have seen this particular after image so many times getting repeated in our slide. Okay, so what is this after image effect? Let's see. When our eyes are exposed to a hue for prolonged time, the eyes become fatigued. Okay, you might notice if you're reading something on the colored paper and then you look away, you often see a inverse or complement of that image, opposite of that image. So if you're looking at something for prolonged time, that particular hue or bright images or colored paper, then if you close your eyes, you see something which is inverse of that particular image that you saw, a particular figure. So let's see this with example so that you can understand better. Stare at this particular image for at least 20 seconds. Keep staring at that. What you see in the white space is called after image. If you didn't see anything, just try again. Just see that image for 20 seconds and look at some white space. You will see a difference or inverse image. If not, the image most people see will be after seeing that particular image. When they look on the white space or close their eyes, immediately they can visualize this. This particular effect is called after image. Let's see what is Bezold effect. It is an optical illusion named after German professor who invented or developed this Bezold effect. The color may appear different. Okay, the color may appear different depending on its relation to the adjacent colors. Okay, so here the color will vary depending on its adjacent color. When the bright colors are close together, when bright colors are brought together close to each other, their colors may change. This may happen when small area of colors are interspersed. So let's see this with demonstration. So the red color seems lighter when combined with white and darker when combined with black. If you see this portion, we can see this particular red is lighter, and when it is combined with black here, we can feel this particular red is darker. But what it is, see here, both are same color, but this difference in color is created. So this is demonstration of Bezold effect. So let's see another example here. Can you see the difference between this particular blue and this particular blue? Yes, right. So let's see how it is. See, when we try to combine these two colors, so we can see here that the both colors are similar. See this portion, when it is apart, We can see this is lighter color and we feel this is darker. But when it is coming closer, we can see the both colors are similar. So there is some change in color happening, right? This particular effect is called Wisol effect. Convex effect is an illusion. It is an optical illusion where gradient within the central line or section, this gradient, create an impression that side of the image is in fact darker than the other. In reality, both sections are same. This particular gradient near the center line or section creating an illusion is called Convex effect. Let's see this quantum effect with a better example. So here in this picture we can see two parts. The left part seems to be darker in color than the right part. In fact, they both are having the same brightness. Okay, this illusion is created by a line which is happening here. Once if we hold or if you hide this particular line with a rectangle like this image here, if we hold that, we can see the left part of the image and the right part of the image looks similar. So this particular effect is called Convex effect. Abney effect describes this, that when hue shifts its color when the white light added to the monochromatic light. From here we can see this, the monochromatic light is added to a white light, then there is a hue shift, right? There is some shift happening. This effect is called Abney effect. Neon color spreading. Neon color spreading is an optical illusion in the category of transparency effect. Okay, it having the transparency effect plus optical illusion. Okay, characterized by fluid borders between the edges of colored objects, the background in the presence of black line. So here is an example that we can see. A circle is created by color spreading. This particular circle is created by color spreading. Actually we don't have any circle at this particular point. It is created by an illusion because of the difference in color of this particular circle and this particular circle. So this is created as illusion. This is called neon color spreading. Crispening effect is perceived difference depends on the background. See, if you see this particular effect with white background, we can see the difference, and when it is gray and when it is black, so we can see this perceived difference, right? This particular effect is called crispening effect. Let's see with another good example what is crispening effect. The increase in apparent contrast between two colors of similar lightness increases against ground lightness value between them, which means this particular color or color is very similar, but its effect depends on the background color contrast. This particular effect is called crispening color. So can we see the difference of this particular image when the background changes, right? Dyad color. This is another important term. We should know this. Dyad color is combination of two colors, okay, that are separated by one color on the color wheel. Which means if one color is here, you have one color separation in another color. So these two colors are called dyad colors. For example, yellow, orange. See yellow and orange. You have in between one color. This color is called dyad color. So what is discordant color? Discordant color, as the name implies, we can see that is deliberately break from the harmonious schemes. Okay, this color schemes having the color combination that contrast, clash, fight rather than harmonize. So if you see these two colors particularly, they are not having any harmony between them. They are clashing or fighting with each other. This can cause viewers uncomfortable, but sometimes this helps us to enhance the thematic content in piece of art. It can act positive as well as negative. The color combination that almost but not quite opposite on the color wheel. They are almost on the opposite edge but not direct opposite. If it is direct opposite, they become complementary. The slight variation will be there. As we know, red and green are direct opposites. They are complementary colors. Okay, they give high contrast as well as equally balance each other. But if you are replacing one color with complementary pairs, which is left or right to that particular color, maybe if you are considering green, okay, we are taking left or right side adjacent side color, maybe yellow green with red. If you are adding, it becomes this contrast color. We can say it is as discordant color. It is clashing colors we call. Okay, so let's see what is clashing colors here. Clashing colors are two or more colors that feel disturbing, unpleasant, because they are like garish, offbeat, or energetic quality. They are really vibrating when they are put together like that. But this is very subjective terms, because one color may appear to be appealing to somebody, whereas the other person may not feel the same, right? So all the discordant colors can be referred to as clashing. So what all we see, all the discordant colors in the previous slide are to be clashing, but not all the clashing combinations are discordant. So this is another important key terms to understand here. Let's see what is metamerism. Metamerism is something when two colors appears to be same under certain lighting conditions, but it is different under other lighting conditions. So if you go to some stores and take two materials or something under the store lighting condition, you can feel both are similar. But if you're coming out and checking both, there will be some little uh, change in shades of the particular color when it is seen in direct light or sunlight. So this effect is called metamerism. So we can see in this particular example that the color of the living room taking shift when the light source changes. So when the direct light is acting as a source, we get this particular uh, color of the living room. It becomes a little warmer when the indirect light, sunlight acting as a source, and there is a huge shift from there to here when the artificial light is acting as a light source. So when the light source changes, the effects or color in the room changes. This effect is called metamerism. So it's important for every designers to know color psychology and its emotion of colors attached with it. So every color has two emotions. One is positive, one is negative. Here I have listed down all the positive emotions attached with each color. For red, we can say power, strength, excitement, passion, energy. For orange, we could say it is confidence, warmth, innovation, friendliness, bravery, like that. For yellow, we could say optimum, warmth, happiness, creativity, friendliness. For green, we could say health, hope, nature, growth, freshness, and prosperity. That is why we could see green color themed hospitals are more. We can see this green theme in most of the hospitals. So let's see about blue. It is trust, loyalty, dependability, logic, serenity, and security. So that is why we can see this particular blue themed logos in most of the branded companies. So let's talk about purple. Purple gives us wisdom, luxury, wealth, spirituality, and royalty. So the question can be asked like this: which color helps you to get the emotion of royalty or gives you emotion attached with royalty? The answer is purple. So let's see about pink. It is imaginative, passionate, transformation, balance, and creativity. So talking about brown, it is serious, reliability, authenticity, warmth, and support. So talking about black, we can see it is sophisticated, security, power, authority, and substance. So what is the emotion attached with white? It's cleanliness, clarity, purity, simplicity, and freshness. So in order to get this concept right, relate these color schemes with some logos or some pictures and the emotion created with it. So you can easily remember all these terms. Let's try answering few questions that is related to color theory and that may appear in your NATA second attempt as well. So let's get started. Which of the following terms best describe the picture given below? So here they have given capsicums, right? So they are not tomatoes. Active colors, they have given active colors. Cool colors, no, they are not cool colors here. So this is wrong answer. So passive colors, okay, they are warm colors. Yes, they are warm colors. Advancing, receding, vibration. Okay, let's go into the detail right now. Okay, we understood these are warm colors. So what is active colors? Active colors are also known as warm colors. So this is right. What is passive then? Passive is cool colors. So this is wrong. What is advancing? So warm colors are always advancing in nature, right? It feels close to the viewer. So these are warm colors, like it is advancing color. Receding colors are cool colors, so it is not the answer. Vibration, yes, we can see a minor vibration here. When red and green is put together, we can see the extra depth is happening here and little effect is happening. So there is vibration here in a very minor way. So the answer is active colors, warm colors, advancing colors and vibration. So which of the following terms best describe the picture given below? So what you can see here is a vibration. Yeah, very minute. Dithering? No, dithering is not happening. Dissolved effect is, what is dissolved effect is change in color is happening here. So dissolved effect is the answer. Simultaneous contrast, yes. Repetition, yes. Delicate, no, this is not delicate. Depth, mm, yeah, but not major or this one. We can say it's vibration. So now I'll tell you how this answer forms. Okay, so we can see here these both are of same color, okay, red color, but when it is mixed with other surrounding colors, the color of this particular changes to orange color. So this effect is called dissolved effect. So the higher answer, the most predominant or preferential answer will be dissolved effect. And then there is some vibrating effect or contrast happening with this red and blue thing. So there is some simultaneous contrast. Repetition, yes, two elements are repeated. So repetition is there, and then there is some vibration. It is created to this, created because of the simultaneous contrast happening here. So the answer is vibration, dissolved effect, simultaneous contrast and repetition. So first answer is this, second, third and fourth. Which of the following term best describes the picture given below? So are these are active colors? No, they are not active colors. They are cool colors. Yes. So cool color is also known as passive colors. No, they are not warm colors. They are not advancing as well because they are deciding as they are cool colors. Vibration. No, we cannot see any such vibration happening or contrast vibration is happening here. Sunny, no, it is not sunny. I think it's a night image, right? We know. So it's a nature. Yes, we have a natural element like water and other things. So the answer is cool colors, passive colors, receding colors, and nature. Which of the following term best describe this particular picture? An achromatic color? No, achromatic color is not there because it is only gray, white, and black. Monochromatic? Yes, it is monochromatic because all shades of greens are available here, so it is monochromatic. Analogous color? Yes, we have analogous color because it is having some green, yellow, and those shades. Complementary? Can we see any complementary colors happening here? No. Split complementary? No. Triadic color? I don't feel so. Contrast is, there is definitely contrast here. See the background and the window panel. There is good contrast happening here. Focal point, so no such focal point is happening. Radiation, no radiation. Focal point is something where your eye point merges together is called focal point. Radiation is something one from one point it used to get radiated. So this effect is called radiation. So here it will be monochromatic, analogous and contrast. Which of the following term best describe this picture? This particular picture according to me is achromatic because it has black, white and gray. Monochromatic, no it is not monochromatic. Analogous, no it is not analogous because since it has most of white, black and gray, what is it doesn't comes into the color wheel, so it doesn't act into any color scheme, right? So it is all complementary triad because it is not appearing in color wheel and it cannot act into any schemes. Contrast, yes, definitely we have a contrast. Do you see any focal point? Yeah, I have some focus on this particular point. So I'm just clicking this. Radiation, I don't feel any radiating part happening here like this. So do you feel any radiation? No, I don't feel. So here my answer will be achromatic, contrast, focal point. Which of the following term best describe the picture given below? Achromatic, no, we already seen what is achromatic. Monochromatic, no, we have two different colors here. We have this and this. Analogous, definitely yes, this will be analogous color. Complementary, no, when it is analogous color, it cannot be a complementary color, right? Split complementary, no. Triadic, no. Contrast, yes, there is good contrast happening with this particular background and this foreground. This color, some contrast is there. Focal point, it is not having good focal point as well as radiation. So my answer will be contrast and analogous color scheme. So this is how I told you why it is analogous. Right. We can see if you see minute into detail, if you want to see, if you cannot see any other option, then you can go for this minute detailing. You can see red here and green here, right? If you see this, if you wanted to go this minute, then there will be a complementary color scheme, but I don't think they will ask like this. Let's see few questions that appeared in NATA 2020 first attempt, and let's discuss that in detail. So the first question on color theory was when two or more bright colors as indicated in the image given below viewed at a length, the tiny muscles of the eyes have overworking resulting in visual fatigue. So what effect is called? What is this effect called? Okay, so here we have to see two or more bright colors. So there is some contrast, so resulting in visual fatigue is simultaneous contrast. Okay, simultaneous contrast is also known as homostereopsis. So the answer is C. What it is called when our eyes are exposed to similar colors of shade. So if it is similar shades of a color means it is monochromatic color, right? So when we are exposed to this kind of effect, then it is called what? So here the answer is color washing. It is a technique in painting. So the color changes their character if they are surrounded by different colors. Okay. So here we have to see, note down the keyword is color changing. Okay, because of the surrounding different colors. So we can see this red little bright and this red little dull. It is because of what effect? We already saw it, dissolved effect. Which color theme of the question figure matches with the option figures? Okay, so here this question I'm giving it to you guys, so comment the answer in the comment section below. So the right answer for this question is B. Tell me why in the comment section. Okay. Which one black and white combination on the right hand side resembles the left hand side of the color combination? Here they've asked, they are given us the color combination and asking us to match for the right black and white combination. Okay, so let's see the first image. So let's take this particular dominating character, okay, dominating image face here. Okay, let's take this. See here, it is not the same shape, right? And you have something here, this portion, so which is also, this portion is not matching with A. Let's see the face again with B. No, it is not matching, it has to be like this. So it is not matching, even this portion is not matched, right? So let's see, yeah, it is getting matched here, and even this area, even this area is getting matched. Let's see fourth one. No, it's really not getting matched. No, it is not getting matched. So the option will be C. We keep uploading important questions in our community tab. So kindly subscribe our channel so that you'll be notified when we put some questions on the community tab as well. Okay, thank you for watching till end. Stay connected with us. Tada, bye bye, take care.